earlier on in the day. Lapu Lapu against the Fairness pick helps with that Nether Realm, getting through some of that extra bars too.
Yeah.
But my main thing with BLACKLIST International, especially going off what we saw in the previous game, guys, is how do they contain this, even the Masha pick alone, right? Because we haven't seen too much of Masha performance, at least here so far. You know, it's had its adjustments, it's had its wins and losses, but it's something to be said. After how we saw the previous game from ONIC and how dominating it was, they're on the momentum side here. So once again,
that's not susceptible to the triple thunderclap combo, right?
That's right.
So I guess they drafted pretty solid, but at the same time, it will take some time to ramp up.
Yep. I do agree. I do agree with that. I think there's a lot of troubleshooting that BLACKLIST International were able to do. Carry makes a lot of sense. Lapu Lapu eventually makes a lot of sense. The only thing that I am afraid of is that they're choosing heroes that are generally weak in the metagame. It makes it to the draft, but it's generally the weaker heroes.
Like A tier.
Like A tier, right?
if you had a tier list, like our dear friend, Womi.
Yeah, like our dear friend Womi. That maybe is the only problem. And BLACKLIST is a team that's known to do that anyways, as a franchise, so I think they're okay.
Yeah, quite happy to go for that. And I just realized, you know what, Super Prince on the Paramis is no slouch. He started his career with this hero, and he is the most aggressive Paramis I've ever seen.
Yes,
save for a few, maybe.
Yeah.
He will use that Shadow Stampede and Flicker back every time the cooldown is up.
Yeah. I think there is one player that kind of matches how good Super Prince is with the Paramis.
Yeah.
And he's all the way from Indonesia, named Aboy.
Oh,
that guy's good.
A boy as in a boy.
Yep.
Yeah, he is. And that's the thing, though, is I feel like that's one of the biggest things that sets apart certain players that pick up the Fairness, you know, is how they play to that aggression, but at the same time, they don't overextend. That's one of the hard things about it, especially when you pick up, you know, when you have this Flicker available to you.
Right.
Because we've seen actually a couple different play styles of a Fairness where some even just, they're more on, you know, with Super Prince running Quantum Charge here, he's looking for that type of play style where we see some take more of that support role. They just there for the Nether Realm. They try to get a little poke off, but that's it. So
there's nothing wrong with that, right? Just staying alive so that the Nether Realm is available. But it's a special kind of play style. Anyway, just thought we bring that up there. As we do see Edward already being gobbled up very early on by King Kong. And that will leave Super Prince to take that turtle. And now, it's going to be a question of how long can they out-sustain on the Nether Realm. Here we're seeing that flicker forward on the Shadow Stampede we're seeing.
Oh, no.
And we are...
Players are still going, right?
It's a 3-2 in favor of ONIC.
It's a spectator thing, so we're back. We're back, boys!
Back. So what was it? Yeah, the 3-2.
Didn't mess with the game at all. That's good. All right, so now, for some reason, ONIC feels more confident to go forward, which means they pretty much got a huge amount of momentum. Now it's Escalera using up all them thunderclaps, with Haji, of course, close by, able to heal, but no healing available if you are gobbled up. And there you go, the Nether Realm being used by Super Friends here, but still being very hard for King Kong to survive. A lot of AoE damage from BLACKLIST is available, man. I gotta tell you.
Almost the gold.
Okay, we're jumping back in. Ladies and gentlemen, catching up one more time. It looked like there was a kill on the board.
I think both teams just start to stabilize here, with Kelra obviously having more freedom to do whatever he wants because of how far ahead they think they are.
Okay,
but it looks like BLACKLIST is just keeping up.
They are, and that's good. Economy-wise, though, what has happened here in those couple minutes?
It's more about like BLACKLIST International taking advantage of the trade-offs that we're seeing. Like when they saw that ONIC was focusing too much on the turtle, what they did was to push up top and allow Oheb to get so much farm, and now they're funneling things onto Oheb. So that was the troubleshooting that BLACKLIST International did.
I think with that too, like, the fact that they were able to alleviate some of the stuff that happened early on for ONIC's favor, that's good for BLACKLIST International. Now, from that point, it's really like, how do we keep Oheb to be able to farm up, not die, get the positioning that he needs, and they have all the tools that they need, especially with a Minotaur on their side.
Yeah.
You can already see an ONIC making their way down at bottom once again. But here's the response. Everybody making their way down to that bottom side. Escalera, though, going to hold his own up here. That top side, look at that, though.
Oh, this is looking really, really sketchy here for ONIC. They don't have the Masha available here to take the fights. And Blacklist had vision, right? They knew that the Masha was on top defending.
Yeah. That'll be real good.
That's why they're right now. Oh, Yue! Oh my god, that was the scariest Black Shoes right now. But of course, Gem will spot him out and activate that penalty zone, which will get ONIC a lot of these damage hits. But look at that. Blacklist has some damage of their own. They're shredding hard. Sensui up on front. And Oheb just having quite enough to do something about it. But in the end, Kelra still a lot healthier compared to the gold laner of Blacklist. And now they will have control of this turtle.
Oh man, that's what really sets apart Kelra from other gold laners. He is very aggressive but also calculated. Waits for his perfect timing.
Sensui!
Well,
no way!
That's the Retry God!
The Retry God, he strikes again. Even
how many times has he done this?
I know someone's counting, right?
Someone's counting.
Someone's counting this.
If I remember right, he set like his own personal record already back in week 2.
Yeah, exactly. Like somewhere along the lines of the entire league, if the entire league has 11, he's got 6.
Yeah.
He's got 50% more, or more than 50% of the Retry steals across the league on his own.
So that's like his 7th or 8th?
Probably.
Probably, right? So, oh, come on.
That's why they call him the Retry God.
Yep. Instincts from Sensui.
I mean,
Sensui instincts.
these are things that he's not supposed to do, but he does anyway. So,
yeah.
But so far, I would say ONIC still have a bit of an upper hand in terms of like engaging, and not to mention, they also have the Nether Realm. That's something that I think Blacklist has to kind of tiptoe around if they want to be able to get a win out. But yeah, 1.4K for Blacklist is no joke as well.
Yep, and they're taking advantage of it. They're pressing the tempo down the bottom lane. That's going to be very comfortable spot for Edward. And then Oheb is just getting bodyguarded by both you and Haji. The perfect way to go.
And at this point now, as they get set up for that first Lord of the game, they're still trying to make plays around the map, put some pressure, but they're bunched up. Look at this.
Yeah, bunched up right now and in a very tight corridor. That's exactly where Sensui wants the fight to happen. Same as Haji, who is ready with the Minoan Fury, just making sure that he is forcing people off of the soft targets of Blacklist. And now it's a 4v5. What's this going to look like for ONIC?
Gotta be... They have to really just wait for their timing at this point.
For ONIC, the damage just isn't there right now.
Yep.
Yeah, surprisingly, Kelra's damage not hitting as hard as I thought it would.
Yeah, I think, okay, so the reason why they're feeling this way is that Gem was kind of shut down in a way that he wasn't able to farm, and he's so squishy compared to the damage output of Blacklist International.
And that's surprising because it's Terizla.
Yep, there's the... But then, that is one of the problems when they picked Terizla after the carry was picked up. Carry deals true damage, which doesn't really care about the body of Smith. And so far, Blacklist's idea of just funneling everything and protecting Oheb at all costs, it's like a protect the king kind of mentality now for Blacklist International.
Man, there's a lot happening here too. Even with just having the pressure from Escalera on this Masha. Edward already used that Bravest Fighter earlier. So they got a couple of resources down. It looks like they might want to go ahead and actually commit to this Lord, but they're still filling it out here. Gem, though, to get knocked up, takes quite a bit of damage even on this Terizla. The sustainability, though, from Blacklist International.
Oh, it's interesting positioning here for Escalera. It's going to be the gobble, gobble, gobble. Daytona's one comes straight to Edward. But, again, beautifully activated penalty zone. But the follow-up damage is a little bit lacking. But now it looks like it's starting to ramp up. Look at Escalera. Oh, my goodness. He also disappeared there. Where did that damage come from?
Whew. Definitely Oheb. And the fact of the matter is they have forced the Paramis ultimate way too early. On Blacklist International, you gotta credit that to Edward. Sacrificing himself, actually did not die eventually, but the positioning was there, and he timed it when the Lord is about to go down. So classic Blacklist zone out coming out from Edward, and Edward also forced the early pop of the Netherrealm, which allowed Oheb to have a great time. Faramis should be the counter to carry, but whenever the Faramis ultimate is not up, carry is gonna have a great time.
And it feels like they're waiting it out. They're not fighting into the Netherrealm. They're waiting for the Netherrealm to time out. And then that's when they go for the fights.
Yeah.
So with that, BLACKLIST INTERNATIONal now nearly 6K ahead. At 6K ahead with this Lord as well to push in. They're going to work through it, forcing themselves in.
Edward's beautiful dive as well, usually answered by Daytona's welcome, but this time around there is happening behind the base. They take out the turret, but Kelra has enough damage to push back the remaining members. Escalera going straight for Oheb, and that's a big chunk of damage removed from BLACKLIST INTERNATIONal. Chases on now for ONIC. Escalera going to be punished here, but of course it's not going to be long before Sensui will also fall to the damage of Kelra, able to walk out at least with the healing provided by the Minoan Fury, the Minotaur. At the bottom side, ONIC is chasing, but of course Gem is going to be there for the defense. It's ONIC trying to keep the pressure going against BLACKLIST INTERNATIONal.
Oh, what a statement there from ONIC, able to fight back, still might be able to get this turret. Can't complete it just yet, but that's the thing. ONIC is starting to get to a point. I mean, we saw how much damage the burst came out from Escalera against Oheb even. But they find a little bit of a victory there for ONIC. They try to continue to work around that. We'll take a look here at the replay brought to us by Infinix. Look at this aggressiveness from Escalera to start this out.
And then the follow-up of Super Prince, obviously with the flicker, as well as Kelra. And patience from Kelra. You have to really respect the guy. Did not flicker, right? So they were trying to chase down. He wants to make sure that in this upcoming Lord fight, he is going to have that flicker. Yep. And right now, 4 items up for the Nathan. It's going to pack up a punch. 3 items now for Escalera after the Halberd, as well as the Malefic Roar and Heptasis. You can see that he can one-shot Oheb. Oheb, at this point, doesn't have the Wind of Nature, so that is quite a surprise, actually. And a weird choice from BLACKLIST to not remind him of that.
Oh boy! Yue almost getting taken out here. Gem! What a beautiful penalty zone. Nice catch as well for Super Friends. They take out the mage of BLACKLIST INTERNATIONal. It's a 4v5, and Haji's gonna fall as well. 3v5 now, and BLACKLIST are on the run.
Their base, though, too, they have to send someone to defend it. That bottom side, this might not be an easy Lord for them. Sensui's done it before. Can he do it again?
They cancel.
Oh, that's a lot of things happening right now as BLACKLIST do have Edward available, but ONIC, they know where Sensui is at. Sensui dived in, but the Lord is still pretty healthy, and now he's gonna have to face all that damage on his own.
Oh, their base is half health though too. He needs help clearing the minions. They managed to do it. Oh my, ONIC though.
You saw the maneuver of Sensui. He thought he could just dive in while everyone was chasing him.
Yeah. Again, Escalera with back-to-back great plays. First, taking out Yue. And actually, because BLACKLIST INTERNATIONal were too desperate to save Yue, what happened was Haji already overstepped his bounds, and because of King Kong just using the Theodos Welcome to isolate Haji, it wasn't worth it to commit the flicker. They lose 2 of their members, effectively losing the Lord fight afterwards. Yeah. And then Escalera finds the kill to Sensui. So Escalera, despite dying 5 times, making the great plays.
Yeah. Definitely the Masha bomb that we expect. Not the one we expected, but definitely the one that we're getting right now. Whenever you go for someone, that guy's almost certainly gonna die.
Yeah. That burst is insane. Especially if the job is just to, all right, get the black shoes out. If that's the case against Yue, then he's much more susceptible to getting a kill. And that's what we see here. So for BLACKLIST, as they get ready to defend against this Lord push.
Oh no, still no Wind of Nature from Oheb.
Oh no. Oh, look at that.
Super
the
questionable.
beautiful damage. It's very hard for them to push back ONIC, but ONIC are very happy with the free lane push with Escalera on the bottom side of the map as well. Edward forced to use everything to push back this Masha.
Yeah. They hold their base turrets for now. Blacklist International, but heavy swing in favor of ONIC. Still going to be looking for more if they can get it.
Oh, Super Friends, you have to be careful there. Still very much so. I love the grit. Again, we talked about in the beginning of the match how beautiful the mastery of this hero, this guy is. Man, he is showing it day in and day out here.
Oh, right now, finally, Oheb picks up the Wind of Nature. They're starting to get their roam boots as well.
The last item, I think, should be like an Oracle or Athena Shield, maybe?
For Oheb, you mean?
For Oheb, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it
I would
looks
say
like...
Immortality or Athena Shield.
Yeah, there you go. So, it's going to be all, again, all up to this last Lord, probably. 37 seconds up next.
And that minor advantage that Blacklist International has with holding on to their base turrets for now, it makes me wonder if ONIC actually decides to send, this is kind of the risky part, do they send Escalera to just put the pressure on a side lane, push to get one of those base turrets down?
Yeah.
But he's such an integral part to winning a team fight.
Yeah.
Because he's got to be able to be there to get that Masha bomb off, you know, go for UA to get the Black Shoes out, the Purifies or anything, or even Oheb. So this is where it gets difficult for ONIC to decide how they want to approach these fights.
It's actually really difficult for Blacklist because we have to bring up that Super Prince hasn't died. Sorry, I hate to harp on this guy, but he has the stacks, the passive stacks. He's going to come back to life almost instantly if he does go down. So it's like he has 2 lives.
Right now, they hold things together. Side lane still being managed. Edward in position as well. Both junglers starting up this dance. It's half health. It's not going to be committed just yet. You can't assume that they're just going to go for it. It's really going to be up to the go signal. It's a fourth of the health now, though.
Oh boy, who's going to start it? Nice assist there from the Lord with a knock-up. Gem's actually quite low. It'll be very risky for him to go dive in with the penalty zone, but Escalera finishes the mission. He forces the Black Shoes on the UA. Edward's going to go down, though, with the amount of burst coming in from ONIC right now. It is insane.
Oh, they're going to chase him down. It looks like Oheb's got to get back with the rest of the team.
Wow.
For the taking.
Kelra, a gold standard. Great positioning, and this time, he actually went in with Escalera. Escalera was more of a diversion, actually, to force Edward to go onto the Masha instead of the Nathan. Kelra didn't even have to pop his flicker.
It was a trap.
It was a trap all along.
Okay, right now, ONIC playing around this. They go ahead and clear these lanes out. As the Lord goes down a bottom, you can see as well Escalera doing the job, leading in that top side lane.
Yeah.
UA and Edward will be up for this fight, so their Blacklist will be full force. And you can see King Kong even picking up a Winter Trancha here to deal with this.
ONIC finally opening the base of Blacklist as well.
See, Blacklist International, is their defense strong enough to deal with ONIC? Going to be pushing in here, looking for these last 2 base turrets. Kelra's damage is insane. He struggled a little bit in the early game in damage department, but he's done an impeccable job staying alive.
Twilight armor picked up by UA. Oh, that's how paranoid they are. I understand why, though. It makes a lot of sense.
The mage of the Twilight armor is going to be very messy here. We don't know where it's going to start, but Sensui, oh my goodness, he's going to go down first. And that's going to be Immortality popped. Who's going to fight first? Haji! 4-man Minoan Fury, not going to be enough actually. It's now ONIC who are reaping each and every single member of Blacklist right now. And that's going to be at least 1 man down for each of these squads. It's Escalera down and Haji down as well.
And don't forget to grab your TikTok goodie bag in TikTok before the game ends.
It's going to be very close here, for sure. Super Friends debating here. But we're going to look. We got to look who makes the first move. Kelra dodges out of that, and he survives the movements of Kelra. Disastrous here for Blacklist, and now it is going to be up to ONIC to finish this game with a beautiful burst coming in from a gold standard.
And ONIC Philippines sweeps Blacklist International. A showing here once again from the Sonics.
Just goes to show, man, it is just a tremendous Tremendous statement here from ONIC that they can do stuff like this, even to a high caliber team like Blacklist. Man, they are on a roll.
I want to know what ONIC Philippines did in the past 2